Hey, what's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? One love to the humble. One love to the humble. One love to the humble. One love to all the humble people out there. One love to you all. Hey, look, I'm here to tell you the humble truth. I know you ain't gonna like it. It's hard to like it, but it is the humble truth. And it's about black people. Because here's something that needs to stop. Black people need to stop living in the past. You have to stop living in the past. There is nothing that you can do about something that's already happened. You're no longer living in that time. You're right here, right now. The only thing you have is the present moment, which is right now. There's nothing that already happened that you can have any effect on. There's nothing that already happened that has any effect on you. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing that went on during a certain period of time before you were alive that has any effect on anything that's going on in your life today. Everything that's going on in your life today is by your own doings. And see, what has happened is these black leaders have set you up for failure. They've conditioned your mind to believe something that's not true. Because see, if you can control this, you can make a person do anything you want. And what my grandfather used to tell me, that if a person tells a lie enough times, it'll become the truth. So if I program your mind with something, and I continuously tell you that same thing over and over and over and over and over again, you're going to start believing it. Even if it's a lie, you'll start taking it as it's true. And that's where we at today. Our black leaders, well, not mine, but the black leaders have told black people how to think. They have told black people that the reason why they can't do anything is because of something that happened many years before they were even thought of, before they grandparents was even thought of for most people, and it's still affecting black people to this day because most black people believe that. They believe if they don't get a job, there must have been racism involved. They believe that they get pulled over by the police, it was because of racism. Not because black people commit more crimes than anybody. Not because not because black people was steal. Not because I was speeding. Nah, it's because of racism. That's why I got pulled over. That's the reason why I ain't get the job. It's because I'm black. That's why I ain't get the job. That's what black people have been conditioned to believe, which is not true. There ain't a job out there that you won't get that you ain't qualified for. If you're qualified for that job, you're gonna get it because there's affirmative action. Make sure that even if you're not qualified for the job, you're gonna get it because of affirmative action. But see, black people don't even know the things that's protecting them to this day because privilege is invisible to those who have it. You take somebody who don't have no privilege, they'll understand this right away. But people with privilege don't get it. And see, black people don't understand that. Ain't nobody they cannot deny you because of race. They're encouraged to hire you because you're black, because of affirmative action, even if you're not qualified. Look around. They got people in positions right now that don't even qualify to be there, but they there because of affirmative action. Let them get there. Some of the schools that we attend as black people, we wouldn't get in those schools if it wasn't for affirmative action. Some people say, well, I can get in on my own merit. Well, maybe you can, but how can you prove that? Unless you got straight A's. Or unless you got, now you show me well, you don't got to show me anything. But if you can show them people that your grades match and you got in because of your grades, then good. But those who didn't, you know who you are. You know those of you who got in based on affirmative action. You know the difference. And you shouldn't want affirmative action to be the reason why you got in. You should want to get in based off of your intelligence. I mean, not necessarily intelligence, but your your ability to score high, to make high grades. That should be the reason that you want um, people to know that you got in there based on that, not affirmative action. But black people living in the past. They anytime you see a video, anytime you see somebody talking, they're talking about something that happened a long time ago. Talking about slavery, they talk about something somebody did in the civil rights movement, talking about people that don't exist no more. They still talking about them like that has some effect on what's going on today. Instead of living in today's time and doing what's required today. But see, that's why if you look at your car, you got a windshield, right? That windshield is huge on your car. And then right above that, you got the rear view mirror, and that's very small. The rear view mirror is small. The front windshield is huge. And the reason for that is because you're supposed to be paying more attention to what's in front of you and less attention to what's behind you. So you glance every now and then at what's behind you, but you keep your focus stays on what's in front of you. Because if you're looking too long in the rear view, you're gonna run out the road and crash. And that's what is going on in the black community by looking back here for so long that we have crashed. We got to get back to look at what's in front of us. Like the people, all those great people that you talk about that did all those great things back then, like they was doing for what's going on right now with black people today. They was laying the foundation back then, right? A lot of them were. And now, today, people reaping those benefits. So, but most black people still looking back there and not looking ahead and not doing that for themselves. But see, the other part of it is black people has been convinced that somebody owed them something. Man, these gnats out here. But they've been convinced that somebody owed them something. So if somebody owe you something, if you think somebody owe you something, what do you think gonna happen? You're not gonna work for anything because you feel that why should I have to go out here and do anything? I should be given these things, I should be given it, not work for it. I should be given it. Nobody black that's living today was alive doing slavery, doing any of that stuff. Not one. So since that ain't the case, then you gotta come out here from your time and earn your own way. You don't get to ride off the backs of what they did. You didn't do that. Now maybe back then they should have got more. I agree. But black people that's alive today, nah. You gotta earn your way. Because it's free game for everybody to go out here and do whatever you want to do. If you don't have something, it ain't because you can't get it. It's because you might not know how to get it, or you might not just have what it takes to go get it. But it's there for you. So you can't blame it on another time period somehow affecting now. That's the weak way out. That's being a victim. You can't be a winner and a victim at the same time. You gotta pick one. You say you want all these things, but yet you still claiming that you're a victim. You ain't gonna get anything like that. You have to just say, I'm gonna start from here and I'm gonna go forward and build and I'm gonna get. All the avenues you can take, you won't take them because, that's the white man's this, that's the white man's that. I remember back in the day when I was joining the military, and all people around me telling me, you joined the white man's army. They had much to say about me doing this. But at that time, I had no other options. I wasn't in college. I didn't have no skill set. I didn't, jobs that I was getting wasn't paying. I had a child. I had to make a move. And I decided I'm getting up out of here. And then I stayed, I never got out because there was no reason for me to get out. That's all I knew. I started so young. I ain't get out. I did over 20 years. And now, look at me. I'm not bragging, but I'm saying I set myself up for success. They could have did the same thing, but they said, no, this is the white man's thing. So they didn't want to do it. But then they are struggling to get by. Nothing wrong with people struggling. I understand. I'm not saying you should struggle. I'm not picking on people who's struggling. I'm just saying for that particular group who tried to talk me out of it, like keep me where they at. because we good for that too. But we have to stop looking in the rear, start paying attention to what's in front of us, and look at around and look at all of these options that we have to bring ourselves up and get out of the negative mindset. Stop doing the ghetto hood stuff. Stop being so proud of that stuff and move up and upgrade. Stop doing the same dumb stuff every year after year, glorifying the same nonsense. Ain't nothing about the hood that needs to be glorified. That's a dangerous place. In certain places you go to, that's dangerous. People in there trying to get out. It's good people in there, they're trapped. But to glorify it as if it's some great place to be is the wrong answer. The mindset needs to change. We're glorifying the wrong stuff. We're glorifying the guy that went to prison for doing some nonsense, but we ain't glorifying the guy and the girl that went over here and graduated from the top university. Yeah, I know I was talking about affirmative action, but they still doing it. We ain't set no good examples. All of our examples that we look up to are all the wrong people. They can't teach you nothing. They can't teach you anything. They can teach you something, but you might not want what they teach you. We got to change the mindset. There's too many people out here following these negative trends because there ain't nobody leading them in the right direction. All the positive things that we could look at, nobody wants anything to do with that no more. And we wonder why things are the way they are in this community. 13% of the population committing over 55% of the most violent crimes. And you tell me that's not a problem? That's a huge problem because of the culture. The mindset is screwed up. Everything that reinforces the nonsense is what black people want to participate in. Listen to the music. Music shapes the culture. I'm not saying you can't listen to music, but think about it. Everybody else listens to our music, but they don't go out and act out what that song is talking about. We living through that. We think we supposed to. The young people think they supposed to be doing that. They say, well, it's supposed to be just a song. Well, you ain't acting like it's just a song. You trying to follow their footsteps and do what they doing. You got kids ain't even in school yet, no whole rap songs with the most vulgar language. I used to be the most diehard pro-black there was. I used to rock the dashikis. I would listen to all of the pro-black stuff, reading all the material. I was all about all of that. Until I really started seeing what black people was. Because I had the wool over my eyes. But when I took that wool off my eyes and I started looking around, really seeing what was going on, I realized that we was in serious trouble and all that feel-good stuff wasn't doing nothing. It just to make you feel good. So I made a conscious decision of where I want to take my life. And I'm just saying we spend too much time looking in the past, talking about what happened back then, and that ain't got nothing to do with what's going on right now. So I advise you, slowly start looking at what's really happening, start changing your mindset, getting around positive people, doing positive things, and let the negativity go. It ain't gonna do you no good in the long run. I'm here to tell you that. Y'all take care.